All the Mods 10 has a lot of different resources, and some of those can only be obtained through bees, which can be very efficient. Okay, we need to make some major progression towards the ATM star, and we do have some of these items already done. However, there's quite a few of them that, well, we haven't even touched yet. And in some cases, we could get major parts of the star done. All we need to do is get the 5 times obsidian block, 4 times diamond block, 4 times emerald, 5 times endstone, 6 times dirt, and 6 times netherrack. And we have infinite cells for the dirt, endstone, and for the netherrack. So those are just matters of making patterns and then going ahead and throwing them into our pattern providers. But for anything to do with the insanium, we'll need to go ahead and remove this chest right here, place down an assembler, and then throw a crafting formula in, taking our supremium and our master infusion crystal, setting that to stock control on and then auto mode on as well. But then our master infusion crystal ends up going into the output slot. So we're gonna have to take some pipes and loop it back in. And then all we should have to do is take the insanium and whitelist that into our router and then throw it into our storage system here. And as it starts to shoot up, I can go ahead and make a pattern for the insanium block, and then we'll have to make some insanium coal. And then we need the gemstone, which is a prosperity gemstone made like that. But one problem we're gonna run into is this prosperity, because our beehive over here that we made a few episodes ago kind of filled up with honey and we didn't do anything about it, so it stopped working. So I'm gonna go underneath my floor here, throw down a modular router with the export bus with glass bottles. Then we'll just need to throw them into there. And now that this is filled, we can just chuck it back into our system. But now that leaves us with the problem of it's going very slow, as we only have 1 bee in here and no upgrades. And I would like to make this Omega productivity upgrade, which does a 260% increase. And it doesn't look too complicated, with unobtainium nuggets being the most difficult, until we go down to tier 2, where it only requires echo shards, which also isn't a problem. It's actually the productivity alpha because of the draconic chunks, which you get from draconic dust, which only come from a draconic bee. Luckily, all you need is an obsidian nest and some dragon's breath. We can just come into the end and then right click a bunch of these bottles on, and with a sturdy bee cage, we can just grab them. But these guys love eating dragon eggs, and that's not a problem because this guy right here. So doing some vanilla Minecraft stuff, we'll grab you, throw down a feeding slab, our advanced oak beehive with an expansion box, throwing the dragon egg into the slab, and after crafting up a few honeycomb blocks, I can go ahead and make a simulator upgrade that will allow us just to throw the bee straight in. But that's just the start, because now we need to go for the upgrades. And they're actually not too bad, as I've said, because now we have access to some draconic dust, but at a very inefficient rate. So we're going to have to move on to the heart of the seas, which is going to be the next biggest issue because it requires prismarine essence and squid essence. And those alone aren't too bad, but to get the seed, we're going to need soul jars full of squid. And 1 ink sac equals 0.25 of an entire jar. It's actually the soul jar that's the issue, because that requires soulium ingots and soul glass, which is soulium dust. And we have none of that. And the only place we can find it is the nether, and it can be almost anywhere. Sometimes being very easy to find, and then other times taking far too long. Luckily, I have come across some before, and there is normally a decent amount that spawns. And while we're grabbing that, we'll also grab some soul stone itself, as that will need to be smelted to turn into regular soul dust, which will allow us to make the glass, and then the soulium ingot, which will make us the jars. Then with the jar, we can look for some squid, and I should be able to get myself quite a few ink sacs thanks to my looting 8 sword. So now if I go ahead and throw the soul jar in with the ink sacs, we'll start to fill up the jars very slowly. However, there is an upgrade slot, and I am most definitely going to be getting that. And that's 1 soul jar now full. Now we just need to work on the prismarine, which is this stuff. I have never been able to pronounce that. I never will be able to. Don't make me try. Which is just made like that. And the squid seed is going to need a solarium seed base with 4 prudentium, then just a regular base for tertium and the stuff. And now we should be able to make, I forgot about the nutshell. Oh, just fish essence. That's actually not that bad. So that's the nutshell and the heart of the seas. Then all we have to do is make the draconic chunks out of the dust. Then we can make our first few upgrades. And I will go ahead and throw all 3 into the same beehive, as each one of them gives a 120% speed upgrade. So that one beehive should be 360% faster, and we can actually still improve the bee itself. But I don't actually want to use any of the bees we have now, because we'll actually lose them in this process. So the first thing I'm going to need is this bee nest helmet, which is just a diamond helmet and a bee nest. But unfortunately, we don't actually have the nest itself. So I'm going to use this trader. And we're just going to come over to our village here, grab one of these guys. And I think all I should have to do is place it down right there, throw our villager in, and a beehive. Or not. I always do this. I think I have to place down the villager first and then the beehive. You gonna convert yourself there, sir? Maybe does it have to be an advanced one? Well, let's try it. Yeah, there we go. So all I should have to do is trade him a few times, but I don't want to use the bee treats or the honey bottles. So I guess we'll just go for more glass bottles. Oh yeah, and I forgot that's actually how we get the sturdy bee cages. So I will most definitely be taking a lot of you. And there's our bee nest. So now I can go ahead and make the bee nest helmet. Then from there, all I should need to do is grab myself a zombie. And then if I throw the helmet on myself, I should just be able to throw down the zombie. And once he attacks me, it'll spawn a little bee. And there he is. He spawned. Let's grab him. Come on. Gotcha. And as you can see, his productivity is very high. Unlike this guy, that is medium. So from there, we're going to need this gene indexer. I want to say the bee incubator, a single piston, a couple trapdoors, and oh yes, can't forget the bottler. So I should just be able to throw the bottler right there, the piston there, a button up top, the trapdoor, and then a pipe right there. And so now if I select this, adding it to our bottle distributor, that should fill up. And then if I throw our kamikaze bee in, right about there, hit that button. Yeah, he took off already. Okay, well, that's not where I wanted you to go. Guess we're gonna have to be a little faster with this. Or actually, I'll just throw another trapdoor right there. Because now I should be able to throw you in, close it up, and click that button. Sir! Why is this not working? Okay, you know what? I'm putting blocks up here. And I'll try that again. You shouldn't be able to escape. Activate the piston. There we go. Bee stinger, that's new. But the squished bee material, that is what we needed. Because now if I take a centrifuge and put it right there, I can throw our squished bee material in. And once it fully processes up, we'll get all different kinds of gene samples that I can go ahead and actually throw into a gene indexer. And there you can see we have our productivity very high, but it's only 25%. So I'm going to need to grab a few more zombies and let them attack me a little bit more. And I do want to say 6 of them should be enough. Then we just repeat our same process. And once we have all the samples put into our gene indexer, we can actually flick a lever and it will combine all the same gene samples together, just like that, for 100% very high productivity. And then with our incubator, after we make a honey treat with the sample on it, we can come grab one of our bees, throw it inside the incubator with the treat, and that is taking a very long time. So let's look at the speedier upgrade. It's actually not too bad, just needs 4 regular speed upgrades that are different from these productivity ones. So let's grab you, and then let's throw it into here. And there we go, the draconic bee is ready. And if we throw him in now, he has a very high productivity. Now we just have to go through and do the rest of them. However, there's 2 of them that don't matter when you have a simulator upgrade in them. And that would be endurance and temper. So we're just going to leave those alone. But the next thing I'm actually going to need is a fishing rod. And then I'm going to need a river. When I do a little fishing here, I will have the chance to pull a bee out. And with it being a water bee, it has a weather tolerance of any. So that'll be very nice. But I should actually grab a couple of those guys because we're going to need to do some breeding, which means we're going to need a breeding chamber. I'll chuck those guys in and I'll give them a couple of roses and that'll give us another water bee with the weather tolerance of any, but with it being a child that needs to go into incubator with quite a few honey treats. And that will give us the adult bee that we can just do that to. And that's our weather tolerance of any. And all that's left is the behavior. But this part kind of sucks because we need a fence and then a lead. And unfortunately, there is no other way around this. So I'm gonna grab some more dragon's breath, come into the end and spawn ourselves yet another draconic bee. Where as sad as this is, we're gonna need to throw a fence post right there, our bee right down next to it, connecting you to a lead, and then the fence post. And he kind of just needs to sit there for a while. My behavior would change if I had to do that for a while too. But seeing as that can take some time, I think I want to work on the soul lava bee because we need it for the unobtainium vibranium alloy. So we'll just need a ghostly bee and a bucket of soul lava. And you get the ghostly bee from a soul sand nest and gas tears. And do I even have gas tears? I have one. All right, what do we need for that? Some catalyzing glands or sugar, spider eyes, and nether predictions. I believe we have all that. And I would imagine this has to be done in the nether. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. And here it is. Then I'll just need my bucket. And after finding a ton of the soul lava, I can just grab one. And then away from the wooden house, I'll release the bee. And there you go. And then hopefully, yeah, we got an internal. Thank you very much. And I do believe if we take our upgraded bee out now, and I put the one with the very high productivity and weather tolerance in first, and then our maternal one in second, if I grab some draconic dust, I didn't work according to plan. Maybe it's a chance? Yeah, because we've got another maternal one. There we go. I can now just keep redoing this, and after getting a few of those, I should just be able to go ahead and get the gene samples from them. Then make our maternal treat through our upgraded bee with it, and get a maxed out draconic bee. Because as I said, endurance and temper doesn't matter. And seeing as we got a very high in any from breeding those other bees, I'll throw the maxed one in with that, and we'll just create a ton of maxed out bees for all our different kind of bees. So what does our soul lava bee need? Soul lava. Yeah, but for some reason, I don't think that's going to work in a feeding slab. But I will try it and hope. I really don't know if that'll work though. Well, there's one quick way to find out, and that's making this guy. Oh, but we're going to need a wax block. I think I've just been voiding that stuff. Yes, I have been. So I'll just make sure it goes into the system now. And now we should be able to make productivity gamma. And I guess we made 2 of them, but these also function as simulators. So hopefully you like the bucket. And it's not really looking like it. Great. So I guess we're just going to have to build a different habitat area for you, meaning these are absolutely useless for the soul lava bee, that is, but very useful with you guys. So seeing as we have soul lava here, I'm actually going to set our bee up right in here, meaning the only place the bee should be able to go is within the little habitat here. And just to get the bee in, we'll put the simulation upgrade in, but then we should be able to close it off. We might need to get those other 2 upgrades for this guy though, but he looks like he's going for it. Please don't be losing any health. But for that guy, I should be able to use the productivity beta because that doesn't function as a simulator upgrade. So we'll just make 4 of them. Then we'll just chuck all 4 of them in. But actually, I don't think I need to do the endurance or temper upgrade, as endurance is just health, and then the temper is if they'll attack me. And this guy's temper is normal, so as long as I don't bug him, he shouldn't bug me. But instead of throwing those combs into this centrifuge, which is kind of full, I want to actually have them come out into this crafter here using an export bus. I should then be able to take the lava comb and autocraft soul lava blocks that I'll then need to throw into a heated centrifuge that requires an inactive dragon egg. And that's just a few draconic chunks surrounding a regular egg. Throw our little bit of power on, and then I do believe I can set the block to the filter and they'll automatically start going in, creating soul lava. But I should just be able to then filter and fill this up. So that should be this section fully automated. And then there's only one other bee I need to make. And that would be the wither bee, because that gives withered comb, which is used for the block that goes into the wither compass. So we'll need a skeletal bee for that, feeding it a wither rose. Not exactly sure how to get those. And as far as this tells me, the skeleton bee, I just need to keep the bee nest in a very dark area. Well, I hope that's not too difficult. So if I am correct, I can just come to the backside of our base here, which is pretty far away. And if we disable our lighting, it is pretty dark. So I should just be able to put the beehive there with an expansion box, and hopefully a skeletal bee will move in. I'm hoping. I'm just gonna force load these chunks to make sure. I wonder, do you sell the wither roses? No, that's unfortunate, but I do want to try something. I am definitely a horrible person for this, but if I build a wither, I heard that if this guy attacks some sheep, villagers, or pigs, it should drop some wither roses. I could be totally incorrect in this, but nope, there they are. Let me steal a few of those, and goodbye. I'm not exactly sure how you picked that up, but I have 4 in my inventory. So I apologize there, villagers. But while we wait for that bee to spawn, I've noticed there's a few augments we can get. The no fall damage one being, well, I need that. And then there's a regular flight one. So that would mean we wouldn't need our jetpack anymore. So I'm most definitely interested in those. And as far as I'm aware, they're pretty easy. You just need the unattuned augment, which are made exactly like that. Some magma cream, 2 blue wool and 2 diamonds, 2 iron axes and 2 quartz blocks, then some diamond swords, more quartz blocks, but then some mushroom stew, pumpkin pie, but we can come back for the rest because my inventory is pretty full. So let's go ahead and make the weakness resistance ones first, the no fall damage, fire resistance, and water breathing, and then hunger resistance. So now all we have left is health boost, which is 2 wither skulls, golden apple, supremium essence, and then the lower tier health boosts going all the way down with just different essence. Then for the flight augment, just supremium and 4 nether stars. So let's get the flight out of the way. And then now we can start on the different tiers of strength for 1, 2, and now 3. And then for the health boost, I'm not actually quite sure if we can apply it to all 4 pieces and its stack. So I just made 4 of them just in case. And then the way we apply them is the tinkering table, which is pretty simple. Just need some more solium ore, and that's the table. And I'll just throw that down right here for now. And if I take off my armor, I believe if I put, let's say, the augment in, yeah, I'm not too sure how this thing works. Well, that was a complete waste of time. You can't use this armor in here. It would have to be one of the versions of mystical agriculture armor that you use. So we can just throw these all back in the system and never touch them again. But one thing I did find out about that I really want to do is these extended molecular assemblers. Because our regular assemblers can only craft 1 thing at a time, and these extended ones can craft, I believe, 8, if not 5 at a time. I want to say 8 though. And they're actually not that bad at all. That I want to say I could just replace one of these, and then I should just be able to throw all these upgrades in again. And then we can go to the next job and configure all of those. So yes, it can go to 8. That's going to be OP. However, I don't know if we'll need to add more of the processing units to our little computers here. Maybe we'll just upgrade those, the mega co-processing units, because that provides 4 per block. And that's actually pretty easy to make too. So I should just be able to take it now. And if I break one of these, apply it in, and hopefully we won't have any issues. Because now this one has 8 possible co-processors. And look at that, we have our skeleton bee. So let's just go ahead, grab our wither rose. And then this guy seems a little hostile. Oh, or not. But we will just throw him down and change him on over. And then I should just be able to throw the rose in the feeding slab with the bee. Then just whitelist the wither comb, going straight into our system, which will allow us to make our wither comb block. And that will get us that much closer to the ATM star. But with that, I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. So if you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, hit that little notification bell to be notified every single time I upload. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. So hope you guys had a good Christmas and have a great New Year's, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and goodbye.